There we go. It's on now. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This week's episode of Ticket Stubs podcast. Oh my God, the Redux edition. I'm in a different location currently. It's podcast every week. We're two best friends get together to talk movies every week. And you know, I saw yesterday, Zach.
What'd you see?
Our first episode came out 4 years ago.
Oh God!
Like literally, I was looking through the page. 4 years ago, we put our first episode out, and I was like, "It's been that long."
I don't remember.
But it makes me remember
like one of the first ones, but it wasn't that. It was something else. What else? Oh my God! What was the first one we ever watched? Was it a Marvel movie?
It was
a Marvel movie or something.
Well, I know we did. Episode 4 was like.
I know we did one of the Hobbit movies. I remember that.
One of the Hobbit movies. Legally Blonde. And then so we did like 4, and then we stopped for a few months.
Yeah.
And then we did like from 5 to like 30 something. Like 33 or whatever. Stopped, did the book club, did the chat club. Took however long that was, a year and a half off of that. Now we're back at the Ticket Stubs podcast.
Yeah.
So imagine if we just did 4 years straight of the Ticket Stubs podcast. We would have like
we'd have so many episodes.
So many episodes, right? We could be making money off this bullshit.
Dude,
not really.
We could have had sponsors by now. Dude.
We had sponsors, man. But you guys don't know. Every week, Zach and I get together, we talk about movies, chit chat, nothing super serious.
Oh, you there? Did you drop on me? No, it's the return of the freeze. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me. You can hear Jason. We're currently frozen. I can't dance for you because, well, I'm sitting down, so there's that. Hopefully his connection comes back fairly soon. Hopefully my connection isn't the one that froze. If he's just going to stay frozen the whole time, I don't know what we're going to do. We might have to start this all over again. This would be quite the wild ride. Yeah, it froze. Yeah, so you probably never hear this, but we watched X-Men Days of Future Past. That was the first episode that we ever did, and we both liked that movie a lot. And then the other X-Men movies happened, and they kind of sucked. Hardcore. Apocalypse was not good, even though we thought. Oh, we left. Oh, fuck. So that was a thing. Hey, we're back.
I guess we're back. Okay. Who knows if that's in or not? Who knows?
I don't know. Hopefully not.
We'll find out. But so
a lot of dead space if that's the case.
But no, it's like I was saying. What have you been watching, if anything?
So I've been watching a few things. So the first thing I have on my list is a movie. I didn't know I was gonna watch it. I came home on a Sunday and was like, I feel like I was scrolling through Amazon Prime and I was like, I'll watch this. So it's Jinro the Wolf Brigade.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Anime movie from like, I think it's like the late 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
I dig it a lot. Basic premise of the story is that it's a post-apocalyptic world after World War II where basically there's like a giant like commie revolution in Japan. And so the government hired these like super soldiers basically with like crazy armor to like patrol the streets and stuff like that. And about this guy who in like his first mission out or whatever, he ends up not doing his duty and the girl he was supposed to kill ends up like blowing up like underground and like destroying like a lot of property and stuff like that. And so it's all about him dealing with the consequences and stuff like that. It was really cool. I really just picked it because they have that splash page of the armor that you see the guys in, and that looks super rad. So I was really excited to see that. It was not in there as much as I thought it would be, but it was still a story.
It reminds me of like Fallout almost, like in the suit from Fallout.
It has like that like Fallout, like that Brotherhood
and
of
like
type look.
Yeah, because I remember I watched it fucking when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
Like when we had an anime podcast. Like I watched it for the anime podcast that we did, and yeah, I remember it's one of those movies that is like in the same realm of like reveredness, like in reverence, like that. Like that's the word I'm trying to use, but in terms of like that past tense, it's the same like category as like to a lesser extent than like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. It's one of those anime movies that everyone's like, yeah, this is a piece of film animation that is so high quality.
Yeah,
and they just made a live action version of it too.
Yeah, that was the other thing that made me interested in it because I saw it and I was like, I saw it on Amazon Prime and I was like, oh, I thought I saw this on Netflix, and I was like, oh, this is the original version. So, but yeah, because I think the new one, the live action one they did, is actually like a South Korean.
Yeah, remake. It's Korean. Yeah,
place in like South Korea or something like that.
If I learned anything, dude, about manga adaptation to movies, is that like example, like Old Boy, right? Yeah. Super famous Korean movie remade by Spike Jonze, maybe Spike Lee. One of those two. I think it's Spike Jonze. I think with Josh Brolin. Remade it with him, and then so it wasn't as good. But even then, it's originally a Japanese comic book. So and I remember I read the comic book, like I binged read it like in like a day, and it was completely different than the Korean movie because Korean movies have to be
It was Spike Lee.
Okay, because Korean movies have to like be over the top and super duper dark and edgy and stuff. But
yeah, no, I liked it. It was much more of like a character drama than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more of like a war movie, especially with like the whole title, and they really display like the police armor really heavily, and so I thought that was going to be like a big part of it. And I mean, the Wolf Brigade is like a key part of it, but it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. But I still enjoyed it a lot. Very, very good like character piece. I liked it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in so long that I can't even remember what happens in it. All I remember is the beginning scene when they're in the like sewer area thing.
That's like one of the best. It's like that, and like the two best scenes in the movie take place in the sewer. The beginning.
Yeah, all I remember is that
place in the sewer, and they're super rad.
All I remember is they're in the sewer and they have like big machine guns.
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
Like, they're carrying around like miniguns that you see on like the back of Jeeps, like they're nothing.
Exactly.
Rad looking.
But what else have you been checking out?
So I did that. I watched The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I finished that.
Right. How do you feel?
I did not like the beginning of the show at all. Oh no, he froze out again. Hopefully he comes back. Oh boy. Oh no. Fuck. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking about it until he comes back. But I mean, I watched The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I liked it a lot. I didn't like the beginning as much. It gets a little bit too like social justice warrior heavy in the very first like 2 episodes or something like that. It's like crazy SJW-ish, just like not crazy SJWs, but it's like just too much of like the patriarchy stuff and stuff like that. And then you've got like the human characters talking about how they need like a women's coven. I mean, I get it. It's like a nice allegory for like a witch's coven and stuff like that. But I just don't give a flying crap about the human characters in Sabrina. I just don't care about them at all. And so the fact that they're like, especially in this show, you spend so much time on like the black girl, and then the like, I guess she's supposed to be just like a tomboy, but they treat her like she's like transgender. I don't know. It's very strange.
It's killing me, dude. It's killing me, man.
It's killing me, man. But I was just talking about it. I don't know. I didn't like the beginning as much. I didn't like the first like 2 episodes. It's very too much like SJW language. Like I heard the word patriarchy like 10 times. And then they
Yeah.
kept giving me like the human characters that I like absolutely do not give a single shit about.
And they're completely irrelevant to the whole story.
I don't like her boyfriend at all. I was like, can you just dump him and like go with the warlock dude because like he's way fucking radder.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's just and you just got to follow this like I guess she's supposed to be like a tomboy, transgender or whatever. I don't know. But you have to follow her and the black girl, and like you follow their stories, and I'm like, I don't get the like when's Sabrina coming back? Like this show's about Sabrina. Why is Sabrina not in the show?
I think I watched it pretty quickly over the course of a couple days, and the whole time I really was in the exact same mindset as you, going like, there are things here that I think scripting wise, character development wise, I didn't really enjoy.
Like I'd rather it have been like, because I realize it's like a CW-esque show because it's the same guy who did Riverdale, and so I feel like he's doing that format of like, it's gotta be like an hour long, but I'd rather him do like a 30-minute thing and like tighten up on just like Sabrina's story. I just don't care about any of the human characters at all. I just don't give a single like. And they did the whole thing in the first like 2 episodes where they're like fighting for the women's club or whatever. And I get it; it's like a nice allegory for like a witches' coven thing. Yeah. But they only touch on it like 2 times like the rest of the season. And I was like, why did you spend so much time on it if you're like not even gonna like bother mentioning it at all after episode like 3?
You know, and I think too, and my big gripe with that portion of the show, like those they seem to like, I'm okay, obviously, if you have an agenda you want to touch or a topic you want to touch in the story, obviously go for it, no big deal. But I always have a big problem with stuff like that if it beats me over the head or it feels like shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And all the women's club stuff, the bullying from the jocks that are super stereotypical.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a stereotype. Obviously, we know it exists in the real world at some point, but that stereotype is so played out. And if we can write characters that are complex, transgender characters are complex, which they put effort into writing her friend, the human girl, or whatever she identifies with, as this kind of character, then put the effort to also write the fact that those jock people aren't just inner turmoil because they're gay. Like there's more, there's depth to everything. And to me, it seemed like a cop out for a villain. And maybe it's because I'm a football fan, I'm a sports fan, I'm wearing a football jersey. Maybe that's why I was bothered. But as a film fan, I was like watching, as a TV fan, I felt that it was a cop out in terms of writing, but also it was so irrelevant to the story. All it did was make me as a moral person not like Sabrina. Like she's not a good character. Like in terms of a person, she's not a good person. Like her boyfriend's a good dude. No, like, but Sabrina is, and I'm not saying she's supposed to be a good person, but for the heroine of the story, it's almost as though, why should I want her to succeed? Because she succeeds at everything. She gets everything she wants when she wants it, and she gets it. And granted, towards the end of the show, if you finished it, there is some clap back, if you want to use Chris D'Elia's phrasing. She gets clapped back eventually, but it's never like what just desserts. You know what I mean?
And that was the biggest thing the biggest problem I had with it was definitely she didn't really see any consequences for like any of like the bad shit that she did the whole time. And I get it. I like the thing that we're going where they're taking a turn from the Sabrina show from before, and like Sabrina's like a bad girl now, and like they showed it. She's like with the fuck are they called? Whatever sisters, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But she's like a bad girl now. It's like, okay, I get that. That's cool, but like usually, even like from an anti-hero standpoint, when they do something bad, there's some sort of like repercussions to that, and there really wasn't for the most part, except for the fact that like when she brought back the dude's brother, that was like the only like repercussions she faced, and then she didn't even have to really do anything except she broke up with her boyfriend. Boo hoo! I didn't like him that much anyways. So
I also had a really big, like, no, not big, but like issues with the story where it became like in the beginning of the show where she like fuck with her principal about the club thing, like, and like preyed on his fears or whatever. And then she fucks with the jocks and like really fucks them up, right? Like and I was like, the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah.
Like the guy, what those jocks didn't deserve what you like. You're a fucking witch, dude. Like, just kill them then. Like, if you're gonna just do that, just fucking kill them. Like, what's the point? You're gonna pretend to be this like edgy, and you haven't seen. I don't think you've never watched Riverdale, but the way they portray the show, from what I've seen from the first 2 seasons, I was like, this is like fucking dumb. This is just dumb writing. And you know what? I get it. I'm not the target demographic. I understand that. I'm an Asian American boy. I get it. And I'm 25. I understand that. I'm at the demo, dude. I understand. It's 15-year-old girls and whatever, and that's probably the general demo. And I get that. CW fans, right?
Yeah.
But to not be negative on everything about this show, I really enjoyed the how dark the show could get.
Yeah.
Like, it touched on some really cool horror stuff. It touched on some really cool Poe-esque stuff. Some cool, God, famous dark writer guy, Cthulhu. What's his name?
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft.
Lovecrafty and stuff. Like, it touches on this cool stuff that I really wish they dug deeper into, because that's what I like, was that it showed like witchcraft stuff in a like more serious dark tone, and I wish that the show next season would be more of that versus here's a side story about my friend who sees a ghost or something, and that
her dead ancestor who helped witches or something. I don't know. It's very nebulous.
Like, it to me, it's becoming that Vampire Diaries, which I'm not sure if you ever watched Vampire Diaries, but I watched the first season or two of Vampire Diaries years ago, and it was like the main character is obviously entangled with vampires, but then her friend has to be a witch, has to be a werewolf or some shit like that. Everyone has to have their thing, except for the boyfriend who is just clueless.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it made zero. Yeah, because at the end it's like, the one girl has like a ghost and the other one has like weird Shining-esque powers.
Yeah, right. She's the boy from The Shining. Yeah.
Yeah, she's basically like Jack Torrance's kid from The Shining. It's very strange. I mean, but I watched the Christmas special too, and I like the direction they went with that. Of I
haven't seen it yet.
Characters weren't really a part of it. It was good. I liked it a lot. It got back to more of like a creature of the week type of thing, where it was
right.
And I really like her aunts a lot. I think her aunts.
They're great. Yeah. No, I actually the show. To me, the show is really the show when the show is about her and her friends and their high school drama bullshit that I don't care about.
Yeah.
The show sucks.
Yeah.
But when the show's about her and her family, I think it really does excel at a good family dynamic show, because her and her cousin are really good together.
Yeah.
Her cousin's dilemma is infinitely more interesting than her friend's problems. Her aunt who is banished from the coven, has to work in the human world. That's more interesting because she's falling in love with a human, and she's seeing what her brother did. Like, that stuff is way super cool. But then the stuff about, hey, my grandma's blind. It's like, I don't care if your grandma's blind. Who fucking cares? Because you're irrelevant. I don't even know your name. That's how irrelevant you are of a character to me.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
excited for that. And then they showed the trailer for season 2 a little bit, and it looks like they're going to be getting into a lot more of that horror stuff. It looks like there's some werewolves and stuff like that, and then you've got Satan there the whole time, which is it's rad. I dig it a lot. I think that from what they've seen in the trailer, it seems like that's what they're going forward, is getting rid of less of the human stuff and focusing more on the witch, which I dig, because really she's not really human that much anymore, because she signed her name in the book, so I'm hoping they really focus on that more. And I love her hair color change so much. I don't know why, but it's super rad looking.
Yeah, and to top that off, to end it on the Sabrina thing, I really didn't I was waiting the whole show for Salem to talk, and I was very frustrated that he didn't talk.
I want him to talk so bad. I mean, they had him talk a little bit when he was in his goblin form at the beginning before he transformed into a cat. They had him say 2 lines or something like that, but Yeah, like I want Salem to talk. Like Salem's my favorite character from the original Sabrina television show. Like I want more of that. I want he doesn't have to be like a wisecracking, like know-it-all, like sarcastic jerk or anything like that. But I mean, like have him talk a little bit. It doesn't make any sense to like not have him talk at all. Especially because they've shown that like familiars can talk. Especially because they show that like familiars can talk in the series. Like there's that one point where you have Wormward, I think is her name. Professor Wormward's familiar. She's like a crow or whatever. But like the crow talks like in a human voice. Like it talks like as it's a crow. So familiars can clearly talk. They just choose to not have them talk. They just choose to not have them talk. I don't know. It's very strange to me. The decisions that they make of like what they do and don't want to happen are just very, very weird.
Was it still saying broadcasting for you?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, we'll hope that worked out because my parents' internet apparently is garbage right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'll make sure not to do it from here again. I'll make sure I got laundry going. I got my dog here. I'm just trying to like, get chores done before whatever. But sorry.
No, you're good. I was just talking about the fact that, yeah, I mean, I want Sam to talk. I mean, they've shown that familiars can talk in this world. I mean, they had that scene where Wormward or whatever, like her crow familiar talked to her, and then she immediately killed it. But I was like, you've shown that familiars can talk. Like, have Salem talk.
Right. Well, I Googled it. I watching it. I think the creator, the showrunner, went somewhere and they were asked about it, or they commented about it, and I could be wrong about this because I can't remember wrong. But I think they said that they didn't want to Salem talk because they wanted to focus on like the dark elements, and that they kind of think maybe that would take away from that element, I think is what they said. And I mean, I don't.
I mean,
if I agree with that.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could do it and not have it be like a jokey thing. Like, I mean, the whole point about in the original series is just that he was just like a sarcastic asshole, and you can just have him talking like not and just have him be like a mentoring or like helping presence. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's already there, like doing that kind of stuff. Plus, like, I don't know if it takes away from the darkness just to have him like speak. I don't know.
Plus, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering the TV show, I never read the comic book. I never read the old comic book or the new one. Yeah. But I watched the TV show with Melissa Joan Hart, right? I'm pretty sure Salem used to be a wizard. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like a wizard, and he got like transmodified or whatever into a cat.
Yeah, it was they basically took Salem's plotline from the original TV series and transferred it onto her cousin. Because his punishment was that he was banished to the house, and he was banished to be a witch or a cat for like some vague crime that he committed like a long time ago. And so that's basically like the crime that they put like on her cousin. So I don't
know. Who knows? But yeah. What else did you watch?
Yeah, and then other than that, I watched the smash hit film Aquaman.
Really?
Yes.
How was that?
I finally went to see Aquaman Tuesday. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's as good as Wonder Woman. It looks better than Wonder Woman. Visually, it looks awesome. The story is a little bit and I love Jason Momoa, but Amber Heard doesn't really do anything for me as Mara. I mean, she kind of looks like Mara, but like you could literally have like anybody else with more charisma look like Mara. I don't know. She's like a weak point of the film for me, but I love Nicole Kidman in it, and the action scenes look great. It's too fucking long.
That's what I heard. I heard it was too long.
It's weird because it's not longer than other comic book movies when you look at it, but it feels longer than other comic book movies.
I heard that it was reading and YouTube reviews that it was too long because action scenes were random and pointless, and then 2, they're long action scenes that weren't pointless, and 3 that there was no chemistry between Jason Momoa and Amber Heard.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that dragged down for me, especially because there's a point in the middle where they're like in the desert and it's just the two of them, and I'm like, I don't believe this at all.
Yeah. Right. How was Black Manta?
I liked Black Manta a lot. I liked the dude who played him a lot. They didn't have him as big in the movie as I thought he was going to be. He's really only in it for like 2 scenes. He's in there for like the opening shot where they're in the sub. That's all Momoa and Black Manta, so that was cool. And then there's a random, they have him like back again for like, I mean, it makes sense. They like set it up in the movie, but like it feels like it's pointless because they have that separate action scene in Italy where Black Manta shows up again. But it doesn't really like, nothing really comes out of that at all. Like there's no like character progression or anything like that. It's just Black Manta shows up and they attack Aquaman and Mera and they're trying to kill them both. I don't know. Right. Doesn't make any sense. Patrick Wilson was awesome in this.
As Ocean Master?
Yeah, he was the Ocean Master, Orm.
Did you watch the Red Letter Media half in the bag review of Aquaman?
I did. I watched him. I watched it the day after I watched it. They called him Aquaman, and I was like, you know what? That does look like Bible Man.
The whole bit where they were like, where Mike was like, yeah, because we're gonna tell them that we're gonna threaten them, even though we can just move the ocean and kill the whole planet. It's like, yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to that thing though. It's like, I mean, they've talked about it before of having like, it wouldn't be Grand Legato specifically, but at that point, it comes to that moment where it's like, if you didn't have certain things happen, then like you wouldn't really have like a movie. I don't know.
Right. No. Yeah. I get it. There's this belief there, but just like in terms of like, would you have like
storytelling? It's very strange because like in the right before that, he's like, oh yeah, and I can create a tidal wave that will like splash everything onto shore, but also I need to unite everybody together to attack the humans. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to see it, but I don't think I'm going to until it comes out. So
yeah, I would probably just wait till it comes out on like Blu-ray. I don't think it's anything like that you need to see like in the theaters. I mean, it looks.
When is Shazam coming out?
Shazam is coming out this year. I feel like it's coming out in like March.
March.
I don't know if it's coming out in the.
Also, when did DC officially go to Shazam from Captain Marvel?
I think when Marvel's Captain Marvel got more popular, as when they officially started. Because in the New 52 is when they officially
called him Shazam.
That was the first time they ever named a comic book Shazam.
Right. Huh. Okay.
So I think that was like 2012 April. It's coming out in April.
April. Okay, so pretty soon.
That's the one I'm most excited for out of anything, honestly, because I love the Shazam character, and I like Zachary Levi. I like what he's doing with it, and I'm super excited for that movie. I think that movie's gonna be awesome.
As someone who I've watched a lot of Zachary Levi stuff. I watched Chuck. I used to watch all his Comic-Con HQ like nerd panels he did a couple years back. The dude likes geeky stuff.
Yeah.
So, and that isn't necessarily a prerequisite to be a good actor in a movie, but at least I would feel more comfortable. I'm more comfortable that he knows playing a character that he could at least, he can dive into it and understand more. I think because he just has it. He's growing up listening to and reading and all that stuff, the comic books and stuff like that. So obviously that's not a prerequisite to be Batman. You don't have to like read Batman or anything, but like I think he's an actor that I have faith in because I think he is he's a good actor, but it's my door.
Mailman?
Maybe. I'm not gonna check. My dogs are like freaking out. So no. So what else have you been watching, man?
That's basically it for the most part. And then the only other thing I've been doing is that I finally bought and started playing God of War.
Oh, really?
And I like it. I like it a lot. I never played any other God of War game, but I like this one. I like that.
They're like freaking out.
Yeah, I hear him like hitting back and forth and everything.
Because someone knocked on my door. It was like a light, like wussy knock. Like a hey, I want to sell you something.
Yeah.
Knock. You know what I mean?
Do you have any kitchen knives that you
Exactly. Exactly. So, but God of War. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, I like it. Yeah, it's a fun game. I'm digging it a lot. I like the axe mechanic and all that stuff that's coming out of that. I never played a God of War.
Hey guys, relax. Jeez.
But
when's the last time I let my dog play around? Hey, fella. Golly, man. Sorry. Again.
No, you're good.
So God of War.
But yeah, I mean, I like it. Yeah, I think it's a fun game. I've never played a God of War game before, so
right.
it's interesting.
Yo, yeah, I like it a lot, man. It's a great game.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But other than that, that's been it for me.
All right, well, I'll run. I got 3 things on my list, and I'll kind of run through them pretty quickly.
Okay.
A couple days ago, I watched Dawn of the Dead, the original from 1978.
Nice.
Just have never seen it. Wanted to watch it, and I think actually what made me want to watch it was because Red Letter Media they mentioned it in their Bird Box review.
Did they?
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, they mentioned
they did kind of mention it. Yeah.
They're poking fun at Bird Box, and they referenced Dawn of the Dead. I was like, you know what?
They did it for like they talked about like setting up rules and stuff like that, right?
And framing of like segments of the movie and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? I want to watch it. Screw it, I'll check it out. Yeah. So I watched it. That's a good movie, man. It's a really good movie. Like I've seen the original from '68 or whatever, and I don't care for that. I'm not a horror film guy. I'm not a zombie fan. Whatever. It's a fine movie. This one is so much better. And I haven't seen the Zack Snyder one, the remake or the retooling, whatever. Never seen that. I've only seen the first one. And so watching this movie, it's like not scary. It's not supposed to be scary, I don't think. It's not like, wow, wee wow. It's just like it's a cool premise. It's a cool movie. It's exactly what Dead Rising was. It was them in the mall, and it's a pack of survivors, and it's like there's not actually a lot of zombies in it in terms of like zombie like stuff. It's not like 28 Days Later where it's like every second you're fucking screaming. It's way more character based, and then the zombies are there and they come in every now and then. But I really liked it. It's fun. I would say it's more fun than scary.
Yeah.
But cool practical effects in '78.
Like zombies in the face with like pies and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But like they're like running and like juking around them and shit. Like they're like there's slow wolves run around them, so they run past them and everything, and it's like it's kind of cool. And I mean, it's the actors are fine. They're like kind of B actors, but it's not it's a B movie, clearly. But it's cool. I think it's worth watching if you have time. It's for what it is.
Yeah.
I guess it's part of history. Hey, what's your problem? Golly, man, that's why I don't get dogs, dude. Then I watched Manchester by the Sea.
Okay.
Never seen it. Didn't watch it when it came out. I should have watched it because it's Casey Affleck. I love Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
Of the 2 Affleck brothers, he is definitely the better actor. I think that Ben. Hold on a second. Hey, you want to go outside? Okay, let's go then. Go then. Come on. Come here. Come here. Let's go. Golly. What a baby. And he's going to start crying now. Watch. There he is.
Yep. Didn't want to be outside that badly.
But yeah, Manchester by the Sea, Casey Affleck, it's so good. I see why he got an Oscar for it, I'm pretty sure.
I think he did, yeah.
It's like, I was watching it last night, and I didn't. Come in then. Let's go. I wanted to go to bed because it's like 1 a.m. I just got off work. But I was so invested in this guy's story that I was like, I'm going to finish it because it was so interesting. Good character story, man. Really good. Super heartbreaking, but at the same time, people kept saying it was like way more depressing than it actually was to me. But it was still depressing, but in a good way. You know what I mean? So
it's like
in a good way.
On a scale of like Requiem to a Dream, like how depressing is
it? It's not even close to that.
Not even close.
I won't watch the movie ever again.
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Like I watched it in film school because I'm was a film student, you know. But no, I will not watch a movie ever again. That movie is fucking depressing as shit for no reason, for absolutely no reason. It's depressing.
Yeah,
it's just ass to ass. That movie, all I remember is this: too many shots of heroin hits and like spoons being lit up with the fucking that shit.
Yeah,
like the fucking cuts, and then ass to ass. That's all I remember from the movie. Is ass to ass. It's just what's her name? Jennifer Connelly. Jennifer Connelly.
Ass to ass.
Just ass to ass. That's all I remember. And like not even because that scene is like hot or whatever. It's just a really gross scene. That movie, that director. What else did he make? Antichrist? Is that him?
I think that's him. Well, he's the one who did Mother, and he did fucking Black Swan, and
oh wait, hold on. That's
Darren Aronofsky.
Aronofsky, yeah, I hate Aronofsky.
He does the movies that everybody loves to hate.
He did, but also movies that everyone loves to love because he's an auteur.
Yeah.
No, and I didn't watch Mother. I thought Black Swan was overrated.
I never watched Mother.
Even though I love Natalie Portman, Black Swan was whatever. Will not watch Mother because I don't care about any of the people in that movie. Yeah. And the trailers for that look really bad. And then Requiem for a Dream is just like, I'm not saying I don't like depressing. Like this Manchester by the Sea is really depressing in terms of what happens. Like what, and it cuts back between current day and flashbacks a lot to give you more understanding of why Casey Affleck is the way he is. And it's good. It's really well cut like that, and they keep flashing back and forth.
Okay.
And it's super depressing, and it's building up to the crescendo. And it's depressing, and it's depressing, and it's sad, and he's a kind of a loner character, but it's not for like no reason, you know. I felt like Requiem for a Dream is like just for like this sad for the sake of being sad. And some people like that. I remember when I was in film school and we watched that movie, and this guy, the super auteuristic, like fucking what's the right word? Snob, film snob. He was like, you know, I'm sure we come off as film snobs too, but about action movies. But he was like super film snobby in the sense of like, you know, the first day of school he walked in with a mustache, a full mustache, a shaved head, but a full ponytail, like a rat tail, cut off jean shorts all the way up to his thigh.
Oh my god!
Slip on. This was 8 years ago. I still remember this. Slip on Vans and a white like Hanes t-shirt he cut into a tank top with in Sharpie he wrote on the shirt "I'm hot," and his name was Carl. He looked like the guy from GTA 5, just not as cool.
Carl,
right? And I remember I saw Carl. I don't remember his last name, so sorry, Carl, for watching this. And sorry if I insulted you by calling you a film snob, but hey, we both know you are.
We both know.
I remember I saw him when I changed majors to animation, and I was on a different program in different part of the buildings and stuff like that. I remember I passed by him one time, and I was like, you know what, dude? Hey, hey, what's going on, man? You know what, dude? Yeah. Requiem for a Dream. I remember I told him like this movie sucked, and he made us watch in class. This is a tangent, so I'm sorry for everybody. But I was in pre-production class, right? And we're learning about budgeting for movies, whatever, all this kind of stuff. And we were sitting there, and it would be half the week we do budgeting and looking at like call sheets, all this shit. And the rest of the week would be we're gonna watch a movie. That's it. That's the class. We're gonna watch. What movie do y'all want to watch? So we watched Requiem for a Dream. And then we put some other hands up. And some people said a bunch of people. Take a guess, Zach. What was one of the most popular requests from a director? So say what director do you think was most requested to watch a movie from?
Quentin Tarantino.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to watch Pulp Fiction so bad. Like 20 people were like, Pulp Fiction. Let's do Pulp Fiction. Let's do this. And I remember sitting there being like, no, let's not watch that. Let's watch something else. Let's watch Predator. Let's watch The Untouchables. Let's watch literally anything besides Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Not because Pulp Fiction is a bad movie. It's a great movie. It's a fine movie, right? But who hasn't fucking seen Pulp Fiction?
I was about to say, yeah. You know everybody in that class has already seen Pulp Fiction.
Like if you're in a film school, trust me, you've probably seen Pulp Fiction. Chances are, I'm guessing, right? You know, like, and also at the time, I remember like voting. I was like, I kept saying, let's just watch Snatch. Can we just watch Rock and Rolla or Snatch? Like, let's watch a guy movie. Not like guy, like, oh, we're man, but you know, guy. Let's watch a guy movie. And then no. So Carl's suggestion got picked. He suggested, let's watch a French film noir film called Les Samurai.
Les Samurai.
It's a black and white neo noir, like film noir film. In the class, the whole time we're watching it, the class was going, "This fucking sucks," right? Because the film is really French in terms of like their cutting. They're you know, a traditional American filmmaking, you know, Western filmmaking, whatever, in terms of like in North America and shit like that. If the guy is going to his car, you will see him open the door, grab the keys, you know, go to the car, unlock the car, and then you know, cut to the car driving. In this film, it's like you'll see the guy get up, walk to the door, and then cut to him outside, walking outside. Like they'll do cuts that make your brain have to assume, you know, whatever. And the whole time, everyone's like, "This movie sucks, dick, man. Carl, you fucking suck, you hipster fuck." Right? But I remember watching and going, this movie's kind of fucking cool, man. So like I remember I told Carl years later, I was like, Carl, this is actually pretty cool. That was a pretty cool movie, man. I don't know why everyone was getting mad at you for it. That was a cool movie. But that's irrelevant to Manchester by the Sea. I would watch it if I were you. I think it's really good, man.
Yeah.
Last thing I watched this week, I watched it last night at work because I had a lot of free time last night. 1993 classic, Harrison Ford, Tommy Lee Jones, the guy from The Matrix who fucks them over, The Fugitive. That's a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Harrison Ford plays a doctor who's like framed for his wife's murder, and it's just him on the run and him like trying to prove his innocence. And it's a fucking Harrison Ford movie. Harrison Ford, for an actor that everyone loves, I love him, you love him.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Harrison Ford's like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford has one speed.
He's got one speed.
Harrison Ford runs the same in every movie. I thought when I saw Han Solo run in Force Awakens, I go, man, Harrison Ford looks fucking old. No. He's been running that way since 1990. Like the super like exaggerated run. Because if you go back to Indiana Jones, he ran like that still, like super like wobbly. Uh-oh. Did we lose you, Zach? Did you lose me? Oh, okay, there we go. We're back. Okay, but yeah, so Fugitive, 1993. It's a fun movie. It's not as good as Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
It's still good though. I still like The Fugitive. It's a classic.
No, I love The Fugitive. Every time I think of The Fugitive, I think of that John Mulaney bit where he's talking about how he met Bill Clinton, and then he keeps interjecting to explain the ending of The Fugitive. It's great.
Right. Well, that's all we've been up to this week. We're going to go ahead and move into our next segment of the show, which is movie news that we have been we're interested in, something like that, over the past week and a half or so. So, Zach, do you want to go ahead and start with whatever you think is interesting?
The most interesting thing for me is that some news came out about Denis Villeneuve's new Dune movie. Some casting choices were made. I like both of them. I mean, I've surprised, actually, honestly, the most surprising one to me, the most surprising and least surprising in the same little bit was Dave Bautista joining Dune. Because I thought it was surprising. I was like, oh, Dave Bautista's getting a lot of work. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, Dave Bautista was doing a lot of stuff with Villeneuve lately.
Yeah.
So actually, it's like, when I thought about it, it was not as surprising. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Dave Bautista's in Dune?
As long as he's not playing the same character as in Blade Runner.
Yes. I hope he's not in it for like 5 minutes and he has like no personality.
Right. But honestly, like the type of character, I like the actual character in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Like he's like a gentle giant. Like I like that. Yeah. And he's such a big guy that, you know, like it's cool that he had that soft character who will break into being the assassin kind of character. So maybe he'll be like that. Maybe he won't even be a fighter. I think that'd be kind of cool if he's not even like a an enforcer kind of character in Dune.
I hope
Kind of
not,
cool. But I didn't know that freaking Timothée Chalamet is playing the main character. I didn't know that. I don't like that.
Wait, what? He is? I didn't see that.
The article from Collider says Dave Bautista joins Timothée Chalamet and Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
Huh.
And Timothée Chalamet will play as Paul. I didn't even know.
And he's only going to do a duology, right?
Is that the plan?
I thought that was the plan, is that he's going to do 2 Dune.
Hey! I didn't even know he was going to do that.
Huh.
You can keep talking. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never. Hold on. Timothée Chalamet. Do I know who this is? His face looks familiar. Oh, the Call Me By Your Name. And The Beautiful Boy that I also didn't see. And Lady Bird, which I also didn't see. Who the hell he playing Interstellar? Is he like the younger son? He must have been like the younger son. Can't think of what else. Oh, he's going to be in Little Woman that nobody cares about also. That's great. Timothée Chalamet.
No, yeah.
So is he going to be playing, what's his name's character? Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks man.
Yeah, he's playing the main character, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And then the part was that Skarsgård.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård.
As the villain.
I don't know much about Dune to know if like this is a good casting pick or not, but I mean I like Stellan Skarsgård, so I mean I'm there for it. All the Skarsgård family is like awesome. So I don't know. I don't know too much about it, but
I haven't watched the Dune movie in a long time because it's so bad.
Is it really bad?
It's
that's David Lynch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crappy, in my opinion, obviously. But no, I mean it's whatever. I think that it could go either way. He's a good actor.
MacLachlan, that's who it is.
Kyle MacLachlan, yeah. He was in Sex and the City too.
Was he?
Yeah. Remember my girlfriend was watching my girlfriend was binge watching Sex and the City, and I was like, I kept seeing him, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why do I recognize this guy? And then I was like, hold on. That's goddamn Twin Peaks guy.
It's Twin Peaks Agent Cooper. Damn.
Yeah, hold on. Let me double check, make sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Hold on.
He's got a pretty distinct look. If you thought it was him, it was probably him.
Hold on.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. He plays Trey McDougal.
That's a terrible name.
Yeah. Oh my God, Zach, I'm about to piss myself.
What?
Just keep talking.
Okay.
Like literally, I'm about to piss myself.
Oh, you're literally about to piss. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've got Stellan Skarsgård. I mean, we've got Dave Bautista, Timothy. I don't remember his name now. Chalamet. I don't know. It's fine. You guys know that. I mean, you know, me and Jason, we love our sci-fi movies. We're all down for this. I mean, I love Dennis, so anything Dennis does, I'm like automatically on board with. I mean, I just hope that he does like a good job with it. I mean, I'm not invested with it as most people probably are because I haven't like read Dune or like seen the original Dune movie or anything like that. So maybe I will pick up Dune. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to Barnes & Noble today, pick up Dune, and pick up Elite of Battle Angels hardcover manga because that's there too.
If we're ever going to get a sponsor, this is the episode we're going to get sponsored from.
This is it, baby. This is the one. They're going to see this and be like, hey, we need to support these guys.
They're going to see all the internet cutouts.
Noble, if you want to sponsor us, let me know.
They're going to see the internet cut out 5-6 times. They're going to see dogs barking. They're going to see one of the hosts get up. They're going to see a host
getting up to pee.
To get up and pee. So, yeah. Again, this is a super cash podcast, man, because I don't want to.
Don't want.
But no, I'm looking forward to this Dune movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, I don't have any investment in it. I never read Dune. I haven't seen the original Dune, so I have no investment like that. But I like all of Dennis's movies, so I mean, I'm excited for it either way. I mean, he did a great job with Blade Runner, so.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Absolutely. The one Dennis movie I don't even not like it. It's just my least favorite is Enemy.
Yeah.
You know, every other movie he's made, I've thoroughly enjoyed a ton.
Too much, but I definitely, of all of his movies, Enemy's definitely my least favorite of all the ones he's made for sure.
But to me, like when you put him in like him and Sicario, like to me that is like Sicario, Blade Runner, movies that involve guns, action, that something about his style. Because Prisoner didn't really have a ton of guns in it. It was just drama and tension. But like Sicario and Blade Runner, something about that, his style, his writing, his voice is so complementary to having like action elements in it that I think it's so great, you know. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
the other
Arrival
thing I
didn't
got
have that either, but
sorry.
Arrival didn't really have that either, but
Actually, no, I never watched that movie. I keep forgetting that's him. I never watched Arrival. No, never have.
I would put it in the same vein as Prisoners, where it's more about like the drama and the tension more than so like the action bit. So it's as far as what you were just talking about, it doesn't really fit like that mold for him, but it still has this very distinct style, and I liked it a lot. I think it's really good. I mean, it's the movie that I watched it before Blade Runner, and I was like, okay, yeah, he could do sci-fi. This works.
Right. I remember. I just remember looking at the cast and going, I don't really care. I was impressed by the trailer.
Yeah.
And everyone says it's good, and I'm sure if I did watch it, I would enjoy it. But it just didn't really grab me from the trailer or from the the cast. Like I don't really care about that. I didn't really care about the cast, but the other thing I got going on for news is that John Lasseter is going to lead Skydance Animation.
Yes.
You know, John Lasseter was like the guy at Pixar. A bunch of like drama happened where he was accused of like sexual assault and all that stuff, sexual harassment. Excuse me, let's clarify that. Sexual harassment, and now he's over at a company called Skydance. And of course, it's a big deal because of who he is and what he's done. Who knows what the company's new, from what I understand. So we'll see what they do. But to me, that shows that you know. There was never any formal charges that I know. It's all alleged stuff.
I didn't see anything like that. Yeah.
But in terms of like, you have like an icon like him, you can't not, you know, like I want to keep an eye out for everything they do because I know that even if he's a garbage person, who knows?
Yeah.
The content that he will make is going to be good, generally speaking. It's like if, you know, Kevin Feige left somewhere, we know Kevin Feige is going to make good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a big deal. And then the last thing, but I want to mention this kind of just to segue because that wasn't really a lot of news. Was this? I want to ask you if this was even. Would you watch this? Is there relevance to this? Why do we care?
Okay.
Margot Robbie is going to star and be and produce a Barbie movie through a deal with Mattel. They're making this Barbie live action film. Is there a point? Is there a space for this movie? What is the point? Do you see a point? Would you watch it? Will you watch it? Why do you care? Do you care? Is Margot Robbie a good actress?
I think all right actress. I don't really care about it. I feel like a lot of young girls might care about this maybe.
Right.
I don't. It's probably going to be the sexiest Barbie movie that was ever made. I don't really care that much about it. I mean, I see where they're coming from again because I think this is still kicking off like the Transformer phase, whereas like all of those like classic like kids toys are being made into movies now because you had Transformers and you had GI Joe. There was you had Lego. I mean, it's just in that line of like famous kids toys getting made into movies. And there's definitely probably an audience for it. I mean, people like Margot Robbie. You're gonna probably see a bunch of creepy old dudes like watching it though because they think Margot Robbie's hot. So I don't know if that's exactly the crowd they're going for, but
it's part of the game. You know, it's gonna happen. You can't cast her. You can't really cast anybody.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing as soon as they casted her. So
right, exactly. I'm in the same boat. It's not for me. I mean, if it's like a super cerebral movie, like maybe, like Magic Mike, like wasn't about just guy strippers.
Yeah,
the first one, had like a little more stuff in it besides that.
Yeah,
maybe if that movie was like, if this movie is going to be like that, where there's more depth than just I'm a rich blonde. I don't know what Barbie's story is.
Has to do with it. Like I don't understand. Is she gonna be like 100 different jobs? Is she gonna be like the like legitimate like Mary Sue? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, who plays Blake Ken?
Yeah. You're gonna have her be like Dr. Barbie and Vet Barbie in like the same scene? Like I don't understand.
Right. Or is it gonna be like Catch Me If You Can, and she's actually stealing a bunch of different jobs?
See, that'd be cool if it was like an identity theft thing. Like
that would be cool.
I'd be interested in watching that. It was like a crime thing, and it was like, I was like Barbie's like stealing all these people's like identities and jobs, and like, what if it's like a Space Jam thing, and she's like sucking the talent out of people and like putting the talent in herself? That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down. Wait, it's gonna be like a rom-com, and she like hides it, and then she like sucks it off whenever she needs it. Yeah, I'm down for it.
It's gonna be like a rom-com or some shit. So
yeah, it probably will be.
But
you want to see that Rebel Wilson movie where she's stuck in a rom-com? Have you seen this?
No, what is that?
Oh my god, it's like I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like it's a new movie she's got coming out where she's like she hits her head and she like gets stuck in like a rom-com. Isn't it romantic? The previews for it look terrible. Like she's literally like stuck in like a PG-13 like rom-com. Like she can't even have like sex with the dude. Like when she's about to have sex with him, it just skips to like the next morning. It's very strange.
Let's be real. Rebel Wilson sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a single movie she's been in, and maybe hold on, let me rephrase this. I don't like her content.
Okay.
I don't like her film. I don't like her style of acting. I think she's a one-dimensional actress. That's perfectly fine if you like that. I don't think she's funny. I don't think she's quirky. I don't enjoy her movies. It's just what it is. It's the same way I feel about Melissa McCarthy. And don't tell me it's because they're both big people. That's not why. That's not why. It just happens to be that I just don't like those actresses' style of acting. Much like I don't like the way that
everybody's losing their fucking minds about Melissa McCarthy this year because she's in that movie where she pretends to steal. I don't even remember. She like steals famous authors' letters or some shit like that. I don't know. It was a very dumb plot to me. I don't know.
Sounds terrible.
It looked. Oh, I watched a trailer and I was like, "This is a movie that's getting made."
Is it the one where she had to fill in for somebody?
What?
Is it the movie where she had to fill in for somebody?
I don't know.
Someone was attached to it, and the original actress like dumped out, so she joined in. Is that the same movie we're talking about?
I don't know. It's the Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get our last piece of news, and if you have anything else.
No, I don't really have anything else. We can go for the last.
Cool. So the Oscars, we all know Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars.
Correct.
He got quickly some old tweets of him that were apparently homophobic. I didn't read them. Came out, got showed out. I mean, they've always been out, but they got highlighted, and then caused everyone to freak out and then say he can't host it because he's insensitive or whatever.
Yeah.
He said sorry, but now the Oscars were apparently thinking about going back to him. He said nah, whatever. At least that's what I gathered from the story. Yeah. And then now
what I gathered, because we've been following this pretty closely at our station, just in like the fact that like ABC's been covering, because I mean it's the Oscars, so they've got to, because that's their flagship. But I mean basically what I've been seeing is that basically the thing happened, was like a couple of weeks blew over, and then all of a sudden he was on Ellen last week or a week or 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Right.
And so basically Ellen was like, "You need to host."
And Ellen is also, she's gay.
Yeah. And she's like, I even called into the Oscar producers and was like, hey, you should give Kevin another chance. Kevin was like, ooh, let me do some soul searching about it. And then after that happened, people were super fucking pissed off at Ellen and Kevin Hart for even thinking about it. And so Kevin was like, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm not doing it anymore. And basically yesterday, from what I heard, he's basically like, I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm done with it. It's over. I'm not doing it.
No, I absolutely get that. So the result now is that the Oscars are going apparently with no host.
Yeah, which I will enjoy more. I don't like hosting.
No host for the first time in I think 30 years.
I think it was honestly like 40 years.
I'm fine with that because there's too much fat at the Oscars anyways.
Yeah, well the whole thing that they were talking about is that they have to show like more than half their awards off screen because it takes too much fucking time.
Yeah, there's too much fat there anyways. It's too much annoying. So I would rather them not have a host. Yeah. I'd rather them not even have an Oscars.
Yeah. Just mail the awards out.
Well, don't. It's just a bunch of Hollywood people patting themselves on the back.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But that I think it's a cool thing.
Something to talk about all year. So, I guess
it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl of movies.
And I get it. I'm ready for the Super Bowl. I'm ready for the Oscars. I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched any of the films that would probably win.
I think I've watched a good chunk of them this year. Because a lot of them were actually pretty popular this year. I mean, you've got like A Star Is Born that like everybody and their mother loved, which I liked.
Didn't see it.
I don't even remember the other ones. You've got Vice that's probably in there. You've got Black Panther for some unknown godly reason. What else is in there? You've got Bohemian Rhapsody. You've got, I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff in there. I mean, if I had to like really go through and figure out what would the nominees be, I'd probably say I've probably seen at least 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. The Oscars aren't something. The only reason I was excited for the Oscars last year was because Guillermo was there, and I wanted to see Guillermo win. And then Guillermo won, and I was like, okay, I don't have any reason to watch this. Unless Dennis gets like nominated for something, I'll be like, all right, I want to see Dennis win. Other than that, I don't like anybody that's nominated this year. Like I don't really care about. Like I don't really care if Bradley Cooper wins or not.
No, exactly. But cool. Let's go ahead and move into our last Dome news.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and move into our last segment of the show.
Yes.
Which is our review chit chat segment of the show. And this week, Zach, what are we talking about?
This week we are talking about the '80s classic John Hughes hit, Weird Science, featuring Anthony Michael Hall and somebody that I'd never heard of before. Is it Ian or is it Ilian Mitchell Smith? I've never heard of him or seen him since, I don't think.
Ilan?
I think it's Ilan or something like that. But really, the reason we're all here is because Kelly LeBrock is in this movie.
Yeah. But I honestly, like, if you see her now.
Yeah, she's
old. She's almost 60. I mean, it's whatever. Yeah. I get it. But have you ever seen this film before? If you haven't, how do you feel about it? If you have seen it before, how do you feel about it after rewatching it?
I had seen it once, but it'd been so long ago that I forgot everything that happened. Like for some reason, I had in my mind that like his brother got transformed into like that weird toad thing, like at the party. Like I feel like I had some reason in my mind I had thought that his brother had shown up in the party, and that's when he got transformed. Like all of my ordering of events was like really messed up for this. But I liked it a lot. I mean, it's a fun ride. I mean, we talked about it the last episode. I'd wanted to watch this because I'd had an argument with coworkers about The Breakfast Club being overrated and how I had more fun watching like this movie or Ferris Bueller. And I did. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked the Frankenstein's monster concept of instead of making a monster, you make a hot supermodel who is basically a fairy godmother.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was pretty. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot. I thought it was really, really fun. I like the coming of age aspect of Anthony Michael Hall and Ilian. I don't know. I'm just gonna call it Ilian, I guess.
I think it's Ilan.
Ilan. Okay, we'll go with Ilan.
Ilan.
Yeah. I can't even tell because they capitalized the I but they lowercase the I. I want it all to be capital so I know if it's LL or IL or II. I don't know. It's very confusing to me. Ilan.
It's Weird Science from 1985.
Correct.
Same year as Back to the Future.
Oh my God, is this the same year as Back to the Future?
Yeah.
This is a big year for sci-fi.
Big year for, fucking teen movies. But,
oh my God. This is a comic? I didn't know this was a comic.
Weird Science is a movie that I watched when I was really young.
Yeah.
I mean, I was speaking to rephrase that, not really young. I was probably like, first time I saw it, I was probably 12 or 13.
I remember watching it in like high school, I think, or something like that.
Right. And I remember seeing it 12 or 13. My dad mentioned it. So a lot of the 80s movies, like especially the John Hughes movies, I didn't even care about because when I was young, and I mentioned this before on different podcasts about how I got into watching movies a lot, but I was like I consumed so many movies growing up just because of like my parents would go to work and then they'd take me to Blockbuster or rental video store, and I would rent a wrestling DVD or a kung fu film. I always consume movies so much on a high basis, and then eventually we got a magazine ordering system where I would pick movies that my dad would buy me through a magazine, and I would get like a bunch, and they were like on discount, so I would get those, and then eventually I hear all these things through just from my dad telling me, hey, these movies are good from the 80s. Ferris Bueller, I watched Ferris Bueller for the first time because my dad told me Ferris Bueller was good. Same thing with War Games, you know? So going into Weird Science was a movie that he told me that was really good. And I remember watching it for the first time and going, oh, yeah, okay, it's fun. And then when you're in high school, then you're in the prime age.
That's the prime demographic.
Right. It's as a nerdy high school kid, film geek, anime geek, this movie was such a prime target for me, you know? And watching it in high school, I remember going like, man, this John Hughes is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
You know? So, but it's a movie that to me, it's never, everything about it is so perfect.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, especially when you get down to like, because I mean, really, this movie, I don't think, I'm sure you agree that this movie doesn't work without like Ilon and Anthony Michael Hall and like their portrayal of their characters. I think they really, I mean, Anthony Michael Hall, I mean, from Breakfast Club, he like hit the like weird nerd thing on the head, but he like even then he like turned it on its head a little bit in this movie where it's like, I guess he's supposed to be like the cooler one of the two of them, but I mean, they're still both nerds, but also he's like, I guess he's not a smart, I would consider more of like, if you take it from like a con aspect, he's like the ideas man of the thing, and then Ilon is the one that like does more of the like actual like legwork when it really comes down to it. Because I mean, Anthony Michael was the one was like he saw his computer and he saw Frankenstein. He was like, "Got it, we'll make a girl."
Right. No, yeah. I think their chemistry is so good in the movie that like without that chemistry, it's the same thing as next week's movie, right? Where if the chemistry between the two of them, and I forget their characters' names, which is not about the movie being bad, it's just that to be honest,
their names really aren't that important.
They're not that important to me. It's not like it's fucking. If you asked me to name every character from The Breakfast Club, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Don't know. I know them by their stereotype.
I know that. Yeah, I know them by the stereotypes. That's it.
Now, the difference between Weird Science is that I think for me, Weird Science, and this is part of this, is that Weird Science, the characters' names to me aren't important, whereas in Ferris Bueller, they're important.
They're very important.
Right? They're very important, at least between Ferris and Cam. Yeah. But the beauty of this movie, I think, is that I was in the prime demo. I'm talking about demos again. Yeah. Like if 15-year-old, 16-year-old girls and very hip young men, let's say that. Let's phrase it like that. Not me, right? The opposite of me, the antithesis of me. Then Sabrina, Riverdale, that's like your prime demo. Pretty Little Liars, that stuff, that's your demographic. That's not me being whatever. That's the fact of the demographic game, right? So me growing up in high school, being 14, 15, it had a camera on me every day, all day. If you knew me in high school, I had a camera on me all the time. I was filming shit. I would make videos. I would fucking make DVDs for my friends. I would go home, watch movies, talk about The Godfather, and pretend like I knew what I was talking about, like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So Weird Science was like, yo, I'm in that demo. So in seeing the chemistry between those two guys was like me and my buddies, It felt like that. So I understood. I was like, man, I'm a fucking geeky ass guy who can't talk to girls, blah, 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 right? It's like, oh man, this hits on everything that I understand. I get it, But I think that it further showed me that John Hughes was not just a good director at nerdy people. He was good directing at everything because the dude wrote stories for literally everybody.
Yeah.
He wrote good stories for girls who were 16 in the 80s, for fucking everyone in Breakfast Club, for the guy who wants to be like his best friend because his best friend has no cares in the world, everything. He writes stories for everybody. Yeah. And that's insane to me that someone has that ability to like connect and like what's the word, like express whatever, like
Yeah.
To people who are literally 40 years younger than him at the time, or 35 years younger than him.
Also able to write stories for 10-year-olds who are home by themselves during Christmas.
Exactly. You know, exactly. But like the dude just had it. He had that skill. And Weird Science is, like we mentioned last episode, it's a movie that's overlooked a ton.
Yeah.
I think it's one of his movies that people have seen the least about. I think people have definitely seen Pretty Pink more, or 16 Candles more. Breakfast Club obviously is number one they've seen.
Yeah.
Ferris and 16 Candles are probably the ones that they've seen the most. But this film, maybe it's because it's a niche topic. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think when it gets down to it, I think there's definitely a part of that where it's like, I think especially when you look at movies like Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller, those are movies that I think have a lot more of like a general appeal. Whereas when you look at a movie like Weird Science, it really is like, it's a much more targeted movie than much of his other stuff. Like it really is like, especially like this is not a dig against girls, but like this isn't really like a girl movie. Like girls don't really care about guys like teen angst and like the fact that they can't like talk to girls.
I can't imagine like why would any girl in high school in the 80s care about two sexually repressed guys making a hot supermodel lady? Like why would they want to watch that movie? You know, every dude watches that movie.
Yeah. This is definitely I think it comes down to, this is like, I think specifically even more so than like Pretty in Pink, this is like probably one of his like most niche movies he's ever made, probably.
Like what dude doesn't think this thought? Oh, two guys make a girl? Yeah. I know what happens here. But that's everybody's thought when they go into that movie. Is it this?
That, and every kid has had the thought of, I wish I could make my girlfriend.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure if they see the beauty is this, if they flipped the movie, and made it like a Ghostbusters bullshit movie where it's like it's two chicks and they make a really hot guy. Like it still works. It still works.
Mm-hmm.
It still happens to be that the two nerdy guys is an easier trope to write.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's an 80s trope, it's a 90s trope, it's a 2000s trope. It's a trope you see today. Yeah. It's the two nerdy guys who, I guess in today's world, you would say are just nice guys. Right. Yeah. Like it's like that kind of shit. But how do you feel about like the pacing? How do you feel about, because it's shot like a John Hughes movie.
It is. And I like that John Hughes has a very distinct look whenever he's directing a movie. And it's not really a look, but he has a distinct like pace. And I think it was just the thing of the 80s where it's like movies were shorter than they are now. But I mean, I like that it's got the 90-minute runtime. Once again, we've talked about before, I don't like super bloated movies unless it really demands it. Like, I mean, I say that, and then I'm sometime planning in like the next couple of weeks to like watch all of the Lord of the Rings extended edition, which is like the
That's different though. That's different. That's
a whole. But yeah, it comes to the thing where it's like that's a different thing where it's.
Well, so here's a perfect example. How long was Aquaman?
I think it's like 2:20, and it felt like a 3-hour long movie.
That's too long.
Yeah.
Aquaman, 95 minutes.
You say that, but then you go to like Avengers, and Avengers is like 2:30.
Different 10 years of movies.
Yeah.
Some movies warranted. You know, like The Godfather warranted being long.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings warranted being long. Right?
Yeah.
If Weird Science was 2 hours, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like why is it that long?
This movie definitely would have failed at 2 hours long. This is a movie where you get 90 minutes, you're in and you're out and you're done, and that's
right.
It. I mean, they make Kelly LeBrock in like the first like 15 minutes. Like
it's that classic 80s 90s style where, example, I was watching The Fugitive last night.
Yeah.
The Fugitive, literally by its 10-minute mark, you understand what the idea is.
Yeah.
The opening credits shows a cut collage of his wife being killed, and it cuts to him in talking to the cops in jail, or going to not going to jail, but going to the police station to talk to the cops. Like in the first 10 minutes, right? What would happen in 2018 is it's like they have a whole scene, they have a whole nother scene, they have a whole nother scene, then she dies.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. They would give you 25 minutes, 30 minutes before anything relevant happens.
Yeah.
And in the 80s, there was just I don't know what, maybe it was just the film style back then, maybe whatever it was. That's just a style back then to just do that. And Weird Science in John Hughes films just like Breakfast Club. I know we're talking about Breakfast Club being not as good as this movie, but Breakfast Club, the movie starts and they're being dropped off.
Yeah.
They don't tell you why they're being dropped off. They don't tell you what the point is. You just infer from their parents telling them in the car, like, hey, blah, 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 right? You just infer.
Yeah.
And this movie is clearly, you can look at them and go, yeah, okay, we got this. Like, I'll infer that these kids are kind of like the, not the coolest bunch.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like that a lot. Yeah. I just really enjoy his style so much. I miss movies like this, and I was missing it because I was looking at when I had the argument with my coworkers. I was going through John Hughes' movies, and I was like, I keep having to remember that he only directed like 10 movies.
Yeah, he didn't do many. Yeah.
Yeah, he did I think his last one was like 16 Candles or something like that. It was like his last movie, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore." And then he wrote. I mean, he wrote forever after that, but as far as like directing, he was like, "Nah, I got these. These are the ones I want to do. I'm not interested in anything else, so I'm done."
I think his last one was Uncle Buck, right?
Was it something like that? He was working with John Candy a lot at the end, so that's probably true.
Let's see.
Director John Hughes.
No, Curly Sue was his last movie.
Curly Sue. Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Curly Sue. Then before that was Uncle Buck. Yeah. So, but in terms of his like prime '80s, like teen coming of age movies, it's like they don't make movies like this anymore. Maybe because there's not a market for it, and they definitely try to hit this market still. You see that with Netflix's
Well, they have
the Asian girl. What's the Asian girl movie?
To All the Guys I Love Before or some shit.
That movie.
Yeah.
They had the one with the girl from Stranger Things. That movie. They had that one where she's like
fuck that movie.
Where she's like texting the hot guy, but it's not her, it's someone else, but she's pretending.
They have that one, and they have the one where they like the girl like runs a kissing booth. Like they're trying to hit on this thing, but it doesn't work. Is what I don't know. I don't know if it's just the writers suck more nowadays, but like nobody can do like John Hughes did. But
I think it's because
I don't know.
In my opinion, it's because it's not authentic.
Yeah.
And it never will be because it's clearly what if you're 16, you don't know. If you're 16 years old and you're not a film geek, you don't understand that To All the Boys I Loved Before or whatever.
Yeah.
That is just a homage, playoff, ripoff of an 80s coming of age movie. Yeah. Like you don't see the tropes there, you don't see the style unless you're a film geek or your parents are really shitty and make you watch 35-year-old movies or whatever, right? Yeah. So I get that, but as someone who we didn't live in the 80s, but we're close enough to where when we were kids on TV, they play Ferris Bueller all the time. My dad, our parents obviously were in the 80s growing up, so those movies are huge. So like, they don't make, to me, when I see those movies, I go, okay, I'm already coming in with an expectation that's going to be tropey as shit and just not, and that's a good and bad to have that in my head. But the fact of the matter is that it's inauthentic, not because the writer-director doesn't care. They care. They're homaging the thing. It's just that you can't replicate John Hughes.
No.
So, but Weird Science is a movie that I tell everyone to watch if they haven't seen it because it's so unique. It's so good. Hey, stop doing that. It's so good. It's so unique and it's fun. And initially, it's pervy.
Yeah.
It's pervy in the beginning. It's like a guy fantasy.
Yeah.
Which is, again, like we said, I understand why it's not a huge movie because the appeal is much smaller than.
Yeah.
Like in Pretty in Pink, or excuse me, in 16 Candles, you have audience for the girl, you have the audience for the guy, like the nerdy guy. You have two audiences.
Like a girl audience in this movie.
No, it is nerdy guy fantasy.
Yeah.
It's the start of the Japanese anime fucking nerd thing. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
The start of that. But no, it's a movie that I think that people don't see because of that, which I understand. but it's a movie that I think people should see because it's such a fun, and it's a legit coming of age story with a little more sexual tension in it.
Yeah.
Not that they ever get laid or anything. Like, they don't have sex in the movie, but
No,
they find
it's in typical 80s fashion. It just ends with I think they each get a kiss, and that's about.
they each get a girl, right?
Yeah.
And then the robot Frankenstein monster goes to another school to help other nerdy boys. You know, like that's like. Also, there was a TV show that we did grow up. I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Like I grew up watching that Weird Science TV show.
Yeah.
You know, that along with Big Wolf on Campus. Like these shows that I grew up watching in the 90s, you know? But yeah, so yeah, absolutely. But having seen it again, older eyes, 25-year-old eyes.
Yes.
Right? How do you feel about it? Is it still better than Breakfast Club?
Oh, for sure. 100%. Really? I would still prefer to watch this over Breakfast Club any day of the week.
I agree 150%.
I don't know. I'm so over the whole Breakfast Club is the great. It's just, I'm over this like weird like cultural significance that we've pushed onto the Breakfast Club for like, just because like they're very generic ass tropes that like people can attach themselves to, and so everybody can see a part of them in it. And so like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever made. No, it's good. I mean, it's John Hughes. Right. It's good. It's not bad, but it's not. Right. It's not his greatest ever.
No, but it's also because like, how many times can we point to Breakfast Club references being in movies like too much? Yeah. Like Bumblebee had a huge.
It was like they played the movie like 3 times in Bumblebee.
In Bumblebee, so it's a thing that it's bad.
Yeah.
And the movie's great, obviously it's fine, but like it's just something that's over saturated.
It's one of the that's a good word for it.
You know, and it's not going to get any better. Because I feel like it's getting worse as time has gone by.
I was going to say people are putting it in more shit as time.
Fuck, Zach. Our high school,
Pitch Perfect, did the same shit. Where Pitch Perfect had Breakfast Club in there like 5 times.
Right, like Zach. Our high school did Breakfast Club as a play.
Yes, they did.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, our high school did the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
A really shitty, not good version of
I never watched it. I assume it was shitty. Yeah.
I watched it, and hey, I'm gonna be honest, okay? All right, the cast was fine.
Yeah.
You can't do that movie in high school because there's shit you can't do in that movie. It's in high school.
You can't have Judd Nelson's character crawling through a vent in the middle of the goddamn school.
Don't they get high in that movie?
Yeah, they do. They get high and they dance around the library. You can't do that in school.
They didn't show that in the play.
What? They cut that part out?
Yeah, they cut that part out. Because you want to know why? Because if they started lighting up fat doobies, the whole crowd would be like, shit, is it my turn?
This is why we got to say legalize it.
I guarantee when I was 15 years old, 10 years ago, at my high school, at our high school, and they did Breakfast Club and they added that scene in, I guarantee someone in the crowd would yell, pass it over here. I guarantee it.
Pass.
Guarantee it. You know, so they cut, and they did the crawling scene was dumb and took much props because you were in theater. You were in theater design.
Yeah. I'm sure that was very difficult for them to pull off. Yeah.
Props to the crew for building the shit. It looked fine. It was cool. The acting was fine. It just come on. But why couldn't we do Weird Science in high school?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Yeah. Why can't we? I would love to see the casting. And
you know who that would have been? You know who that would have been though? For real? Who Kelly LeBrock would have been in our high school?
Okay, hold on. Real talk though.
Real talk.
Don't give a last name. Give a first name.
I don't know her first name.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead. Never mind.
Miss French.
Really?
I would have said yes. Who would you pick?
Her best friend.
I don't remember her name.
Weren't they both named Jennifer?
Were they? I
thought they were. They were roommates.
I know they were both English teachers.
Yeah. Battaglieri, right?
Is that what her was? Yeah.
I had her. I didn't have Miss French.
I would have said Miss French.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, shout out Miss French, Miss Battaglieri.
Shout out Miss Battaglieri if you're watching this.
10 years later, you're like 40 years old, almost probably 35, 38. Shouts out. But yeah, that's a movie that Weird Science to me it trumps that movie so much.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because it just hits me so hard in terms of the demographic. Again, bringing in the demo.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, no, I understand. Anything else you want to say, Zach, about Breakfast Club before we go ahead and wrap up this week?
No, I'm pretty good. I mean, I once again, like we've been saying this whole episode, if you guys haven't seen Weird Science yet, check it out.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched the movies that we're talking about for the main part of our podcast, what are you doing? You can't be part of the conversation if you ain't seen the movies. Go watch the movie.
Unless we don't tell you what it is until next week, then I understand.
True. Yes, but we have 2 weeks in a row where they have plenty of time beforehand to watch the movie.
And I actually watched next week's movie like 4 days ago.
Oh, I'm watching it today, so.
I actually rewatched it again for the however many billionth time I've seen it.
Billionth time.
Love it, dude. I got to the part my girlfriend was on the couch next to me, and she was like doing work on the computer. Yeah, we're in the living room, and I'm watching Bill and Ted. And I get to the beginning, and I stopped. I didn't watch the whole thing in this one sitting. I stopped it, but I got to the part where, because you've seen it before, obviously. It gets to the part where when they're at the gas station, the Circle K.
Yeah.
And then they're like, strange things are afoot at the Circle K. And then the fucking boxes come down, and they're like, and then Bill and Ted come out the box, and they're like, whoa. And they're like, whoa, who are you? Where are you, dude? Like, we're you from the future or whatever. And then they're like, okay, what number are we thinking about then? 69. I remember, dude, I laughed so hard. It's so stupid of a joke that it's like, it's so dumb that it hits me so hard every time I hear that. And they fucking shred. That shit fucking
oh my God,
kills me,
dude. The best, dude.
For a long time, my Instagram bio was, all we are is dust in the wind, dude. like that's just... All right, so next week we're talking about Bill and Ted, the first one. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yes.
I'm probably won't ever watch Bill and Ted 2 again because it's just not as good. It's good, but it's just not as good.
It's not as good for you.
I like it. It's just not as. I'll tell you what, dude. I remember the first time I watched Bill and Ted was late in high school. I watched it because Mr. Sherling's history class.
Oh my God.
He's Mr. Sherling. You remember Mr. Sherling? He was a history teacher we had. I'm not sure if you had him, Zach. He was a
might not have.
Really cool history teacher, younger guy.
ID, wasn't he?
He did AP, did regular honors, all that stuff, right? He's a cool guy, really good guy. I used to play him with Street Fighter in school. Yeah. Because he would bring his Xbox in, we would play SF4. But Bill and Ted, history people in the movie, so we watched the movie. And, like, I remember watching it for the first time going, how the fuck did I never see this movie before? From then on, I watched it all the time. Like, it's like a movie that I watch consistently. I mentioned last week, I get rid of a bunch of DVDs when I moved to my own place. I got rid of Seven Samurai. I got rid of fucking, Yojimbo. I got rid of fucking, Citizen Kane and Pulp Fiction. I got all those movies, but I fucking kept Bill and Ted.
Oof.
There's a reason. I kept Weird Science, Bill. I'll say a picture of it. Weird Science, Bill and Ted, Ferris Bueller, all the John Hughes flicks.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, Teen Wolf. I kept all those movies, but I got rid of literally so many Oscar award-winning movies, or movies that Criterion puts out, or movies that AFI's top 100 you have to see. Like, I'm like, yo, fuck your list.
Fuck your list.
Bill and Ted needs to be in that top 10.
Dude,
I'll firmly say right now, Bill and Ted's one of the top 10 movies of all time.
I would agree with that.
Real quick though, what's number one?
I know what your number one is. I don't necessarily. Your number one is in my top 5, but it's not my number one.
What's my number one?
Your number one's Back to the Future, though.
Yeah, it's Back to the Future. Yeah.
I've never actually my top of all time. I feel like we did this all time, but I feel like my list has already changed so much since then.
Okay. Homework for next week. Bring in your top 5 next week.
Okay. Quick. I'll
bring in my
quick rundown of top 5.
Yeah, quick rundown, beginning of the episode, right into it. 3, 2, 1, and fuck it. We'll go right into the top 5.
Yes. Do it. I'm down for it.
Awesome. All right, guys. Sorry for the delays. Sorry for the interruptions. Sorry for the pee break. Sorry for the dogs. It won't happen next week, I promise. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure here on Ticket Stubs Podcast Redux. Zach, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.